Hello, you snacks, and welcome back. My name's Jack, and we're dabbling into some relationship advice stories today. Many interesting recent updates. Beginning with this story that began just a week ago. My girlfriend of 2 years suddenly took everything and left me without saying anything. Just all that. 5 days ago, I tried to call her a few times throughout the day while I was at my tattoo shop to check on her. We both do it daily and chat, but she didn't answer and didn't call back, and later on, it went straight to busy. I later learned I was blocked. I eventually got worried if she's okay, but checked her Instagram and then other messaging apps that she has, where I understood I was blocked everywhere. She hadn't blocked my business SIM, but did so too after I tried that as well. I came home to see, along her personal belongings, my cat, whom I had since before her, laptop, iPad, drawing Wacom tablet, and tattoo machines all gone. Also, her favorite cologne of mine and her favorite leather jacket of mine, all are gone. No notes. I have nothing to understand this. Recently, she's also been asking me for more money here and there. I gave her twice that she asked for to get her a new iPhone and some other little things. Like, I don't care about the money. I make enough to rebuy the things, but I feel awful and broken. I miss her and I don't know anything. I think I should be angry or hate her, but she was the best before leaving suddenly. She's beautiful, introvert outside, wants to be back at home all the time, but talks a lot to me and our friends, and she has had a history of depression. She hasn't looked depressed since the first couple of weeks of us dating. Yes, she gets sad moods as often as any ex-partner of mine got sad, but I tried to be there. Her therapist kept saying she's doing great for a long time. I don't believe she was struggling with depression. I don't know where she is. We didn't fight. We never did. Whatever way I tried to reach her, she blocks it. All her friends are my best friends or their partners, all of whom she has also blocked. Her only friend I knew and had the contacts for lives in another city now. Told me it's not her business, but also told me she answered her call to her and that she's very sorry. The friend, not my now ex-partner. I just don't understand what has happened. We painted together, watched movies together, worked out together, talked and laughed a lot and had a great intimate life, cut each other's hair, went shopping, date nights, parties. I absolutely insanely love her and she does too. I thought she did. I've had enough relationships to know that she did. Not long ago when I had to visit my old man, she FaceTimed to talk in my earbuds throughout the night and just hear me breathe. It's probably cringe to you, it'd be to me, but that's just how close we are. I don't know what happened. I don't know what to do. She had asked me to get her a very specific ring with a specific jewel a year into our relationship, and we talked about it more a lot, about our future. She was so excited, and I cared to have the ring made. It wasn't a super expensive ring to sell. She asked for one made of a certain wood. Regarding her family, I've only met her sister. Everyone else who's close to her family is abroad. Her sister tells me weird things, like, "Why did you leave her? What have you done? Where is she?" She stopped messaging me after I stopped replying time and time again that I'm just as confused. So I don't know what to do. I can barely eat anything when I get home and I feel sad a lot, like my heart is about to explode in my chest and I find it hard to breathe. Look, sorry if this isn't related to this sub. I don't want to tell this to my friends. I just told them we broke up, and when they asked why she's blocked all contact, should I just forget all this without knowing what has happened? It's like a murder mystery, except thankfully an extreme lack of murder. But what is universally argued that is most important in this situation is that at the very least, I'd contact the police and demand the cat back. I mean, that and the absolutely stolen work equipment, like, there was no mention that she had the same sort of business or profession. And with a history of asking for money from him all the time to get things, it seems like she probably was just with this guy for some sort of side income and now was no longer interested in sticking around. But it's a short while later in this post that the OP returns in the comments. After agreeing to find a way to get the cat back, they inform us a little more about the friend, the one that was sorry for OP after trying to reach out to his ex. Apparently, the friend seems genuinely concerned and is now saying I should meet up with her and talk. Before this, she kept insisting she's sorry, but I should talk to my partner instead, that she's fine but sounds sad. I hadn't told her that she had stolen things. I've checked the friend's Instagram and Facebook, and she looks older, has a family, kids, and an engineering firm with her husband. I don't know what's the point of this, but I'll drive there tomorrow. But then in a short twist of things. Edit 2, she canceled the meeting. She says she's afraid of meeting me, then says sorry and sends a very low quality picture of what I think is my ex with a much older man. like 40 or 45, sitting in a bar or cafe, and tells me she'll get me my cat if I don't pursue further and move on. Says they've been together for years, like before me. That she's sorry, but it's not my fault. I can't tell the details, but her face is definitely a little fatter. She's quite leaner now, and her hair looks red instead of brunette in the picture. I think it's from them. I'll go get my cat in the morning. So yeah, what? At first it came across that this woman just upped and left with a new man, but no, apparently he was the side piece all this time? Very strange circumstances. But this gets a response from people to double down on this commitment to get the cat back by getting the police involved, as well as all your personal items. And with this unanimous support, the OP does come back a day later after the whole ordeal, saying, I did this, I didn't lie, I just said I won't try to meet my ex, which I wasn't trying to anyway, not after I understood what has happened. The friend already knew what she took when we met and brought me my iPad and tattoo machines, as well as my cat. I missed him so much. Not the rest of what she took. Promised to either get them for me or pay for them herself. Both her and her husband seemed decent people. Apologized for everything. So my ex had studied architecture, but didn't work or search for one when we were together. I got the feeling they got her a job there at their firm. Her friend told me my ex wanted to come, but was afraid. I didn't ask of what, and that I should call her, but I don't think I will. Also, she texted me once since then, just our pet name, but I didn't text back. She left me like this for another man, and I don't know what's there to talk about. I don't want to hear about it or why she took things. I may miss her more and do something stupid, like ask her to come back. I respect myself more than that, but I feel I'm in an awful place. I know I'd do it. I just wish not everything reminded me of her here, or that I had something I didn't love about her when she was here. So yeah, poor guy. Genuine, absolute worst situation to be in. Totally understandable this man is feeling just rock bottom. While there's some good news of finally getting the cat back at least, there's still just understanding the grieving process. The woman he loved is now forever out of his life. Well, that was until just yesterday. Update. My ex of 2 years who suddenly took my belongings and left me is trying to contact me now. After my last post, her old best friend told me she's now with some other man who's in his 40s whom she left me for. You can look my comment there for the long details of this, but after taking back my cat and my other stuff through her best friend, she's been trying to talk to me. She's been texting me through my email. She also called once that I intentionally missed. She acts as if there is no other man at all. She's saying that she's had this serious illness with short life expectancy and bad quality of life. I can't comprehend how. She didn't mention it once for the past 2 years. She didn't look sick, and I have a hard time believing it. She'd get a headache or a bad period and would tell me how much it hurts right away, and I took care of her the best way I could, be it taking her to a doctor or just bringing her whatever she wanted. She's saying she has MS and she left because she didn't want to burden me with this as she loves me so much. But again, I don't know what that explains why she took my cat and other belongings and just wouldn't even tell me if she's even alive when I was worried to death for almost a week. Now, according to a quick Google, it's multiple sclerosis is a condition that happens when the immune system attacks the brain and spinal cord. Aw, self-sabotaging. How fun. This can often include vision problems, tiredness, trouble walking, keeping balance, numbness, and weakness in the arms and legs. Apparently no cure, but treatment can reduce symptoms or prevent further relapses. I'm noticing a lack of this is a terminal illness or something that can result in death eventually, you know? So I'm not sure where this girl's getting her logic from. So she's now telling me all this after I realized she's with this other man who she's left me for, but puts "I'm so alone" or "I'm lost without you" in every other message. Now, she's all of a sudden saying stuff like if I'm okay, asking if I would love and care for her if she was sick, that she doesn't have long to live and what would I do after her, like if I truly love her, as if there was doubt before all of this. I don't know what to believe, but I thought she was the love of my life like 2 weeks ago. I was insane about her. No other ex came remotely close to how she made me feel, and even the idea she's telling the truth breaks my heart, more so than this. Her sister also started texting me again that my ex is alone and doesn't have money she needs for treatment. She asked me to send her $10,000, and she's quite rude when telling me these. Told me I'm not man enough if I don't care for her now. I didn't reply, like what the hell? I did tell her that her messages seem exactly like my ex writes her messages. I'm kind of positive it's her, but I'm too confused to be sure about anything. The sister is much older, and her previous texts were so differently written. I'm not planning to answer at all to any of her calls or texts, and whenever I think, what if she's telling the truth, I just feel like an absolute idiot. Am I right to think this is a freaking mess that I should move on from? Just 2 beautiful years and a big lie. Will I regret this? It's a screwed up scam, is it not? Even if she wants to come back, I know it's probably because it didn't work with that other guy and she's still not what I knew her to be once, right?
Yes, run away, God.
I just want to understand the woman's logic here of trying to impersonate the sister, assuming this is actually what's happened and not just him going a bit bonkers because he's being driven insane by the audacity of this woman. But to grab your sister's phone, assuming they are in a space where they're actually close enough together for her to be taking her phone and doing this, I don't know, hey, maybe it would be the sister. Considering this ex's behavior, it wouldn't be surprising if the sister was equally bonkers. Now, though no threats have been made, I do agree with these comments that are talking about recording, screenshotting everything, writing everything down, get a restraining order, also change the locks. And to wrap it all up, the OP has responded to all this, saying they will have the locks changed on Monday, gonna have their friends over tonight and for the weekend, gonna be telling them everything that's happened so they can all laugh about it for the years to come. Also really enjoying all the supportive comments, ensuring him that he's doing the right thing in this situation, and happy about the fact that he's lost the soft spot he had for her. Now revolted by her behavior and who she's become. Also reflecting on the realization that I got some of my stuff back only because I told her friend I'm suing and can track my cat and electronics. There was no remorse. And that's a very good point I didn't even pick up on myself. Yeah, just add it to the tally of terrible things that this person is. But overall, that is where the drama ends, and purely for the sake of having further entertaining tea, I hope it isn't concluded. Now, this next story was posted a day ago, but to understand the context, we need to go back 5 years in the past. It all begins with this debacle. I'm 28 male. My ex-girlfriend's sister, who's 22, is still living with me over a year after the breakup. I was with my ex-girlfriend, let's call her Sarah, from secondary school. We've been together for 10 years and we're working hard to save up and get married. We were working in different cities, about 70 miles apart, but I would get the train every weekend to be with her. Anyway, when her sister, let's call her Katie, applied to university in my city, she lived in halls for the first year, but couldn't really afford a place to live in a decent location. So I said that she could come and live with me, rent-free. It wasn't weird at all. I'd known her since she was 9. It made everything more manageable for her family. Everything was okay for about a year. Even nice. She was tidy, pretty much kept to herself, had a few friends over, but didn't party or bring boyfriends home while I was there. I assume she did at weekends when I was away. But just over a year and a half ago, Sarah told me she had been cheating on me in a massive way. She had been in a relationship with another guy for about 3 months and had been living in his house, only coming back to the flat at weekends when I was coming down to visit. She decided that she wanted to live with him openly and was tired of lying to me. She admitted that most weekends she would find time to go back and sleep with him if there was an opportunity to. It was a horrible shock, and I felt completely numb for weeks. Katie was busy with university and was unbelievably nice about the whole thing. She stayed out of my way and got on with her studies, didn't bring friends or boyfriends home. She finished her degree. I assumed that she would move on and move out, but she got a job at the university admin department and is still living here. It's not awkward for me in terms of living with her, but it's really difficult to explain to friends, and it's still a little painful because she looks a lot like Sarah. I don't feel comfortable saying to 2 women that I live with my cheating ex-girlfriend's little sister, but I can't exactly tell her to find somewhere else, because none of this is really her fault. What should I do? So the consensus at the time was like, dude, it's okay to ask her to move out. Clearly you feel guilty about it, but apparently you are letting her live there for free. So she's an adult now. She's got a degree, she's got a job, she can afford to live on her own a bit more independently, or at least in another house share situation. Also, for your own mental health's sake, it seems much better and healthy for you to get her to leave. Again, this isn't like a situation where you're kicking someone out because they're an a-hole. You're kicking them out for your own mental health. Yeah, look, it's a living situation, it's human shelter, it's kind of selfish. But this isn't just a case of you being incompatible living together. This is a case where, she's the family of your ex. The ex who absolutely shattered your life and wealth. Wealth. You know what I mean. So okay, that seems the best foot forward. So what do they do a few weeks later? Am I the a-hole for dating my ex-girlfriend's younger sister?
Oops, that's the opposite.
So I'm 28 male and I've been with Sarah, 27 female, not her real name, since we were teenagers and we were living in different cities trying to save up enough for a house together. Her sister Katie, 22 female, again, not her real name, applied to university in my city and after a year in halls moved in with me for economy's sake. We'd known each other forever, it was fine, solved problems all around. Yada yada yada, the revelation that Sarah is an absolute piece of schmidt and deserves no respect nor any decent partner because she can't be a decent partner herself. So after 18 months, Katie was still living with me, non-romantically. I wasn't sure what to do about this, and when I posted on r/relationships, I was just coming around to the realization that I liked having her around and didn't want her to leave. Since I posted, we've spent more time together socially. And on Monday, I asked if she'd like to go to dinner as a kind of date. We had a really nice time. We kissed once, but we didn't go further. We both realized this is a complex situation and want to take things slowly. I can't help feeling that I'm irretrievably an a-hole, though, am I? So at the time there was everyone sucks here. Even if it goes well with Katie, how do you envision family dinners playing out? And however that gets resolved, I hope there's a live stream going on, because I would be eating popcorn to that. But really, that's just the strongest case for everyone sucking here, that this is just going to create drama for the whole family to deal with just because you felt heartbroken because Sarah is a piece of schmidt. Like, are you really into Katie here, or is she just like a rebound thing? You're chasing after what you lost. And other people think this as well. While not the a-hole, they still think it's not actually healthy of OP to be chasing after Katie like this, let alone Katie also chasing after the OP. Here's a good idea to think about. Katie should probably ask herself the same question. Is she going out with you because of a real attraction, or is she trying to white knight you, swooping in and kissing your hurts away because Sarah is such a bitch? Sarah did you wrong, so Katie will do you right. You poor thing, ooh. To which the OP replies, thanks for this. These are questions we've been asking ourselves privately for the last year and a half. Maybe you still think it's a bad idea, and that's fine, but it's not like we've jumped into bed together, which is another good point. If there truly was a rebounder energy going on here, they sure seem to both be rather miserable about it, which is kind of the opposite of what makes people go after rebounds. So what do you think about this situation before we get to the latest story? Does them being rather self-aware of their situation and deciding to be slow about it make it okay, but is it still just a bad idea regardless? Like, okay, you're aware of the situation and the circumstances you are both creating for yourselves and the family, but you're still doing it. I can be aware that farting in someone's face in public is rude, but if I still do it, I still deserve to be considered an a-hole for doing it. So 5 years in the future, we come to the latest situation, where clearly things seem to have turned out pretty well for Katie and OP. So my fiance's sister wants to come to our wedding. She's also my ex. Is there a good way of resolving this? So we're now engaged, and we're starting to plan the wedding for early next year. The relationship between my fiance and her sister and my ex is better than it was. They exchange messages at birthdays and Christmas, but don't meet up or exchange presents. She is still single and now lives abroad, and she found out about the engagement a couple of months ago. At Christmas, she mentioned needing to know the date early to book the cheapest flights home, and my fiance was too shocked to reply. She doesn't want her sister there. Now, I'm too excited about getting married to care too much one way or the other. I'd prefer her not to be there, but I'd roll with it if necessary. My fiance doesn't want her there, but all her family assume it will be fine for the day because it's a family wedding, and it should all be water under the bridge. I can't stress enough how little I care about the sister being there or not. I just want everyone else to be as happy as the wedding as I'll be, impossible, or as close to that as I can manage. So essentially, they've truly fricked around with the situation and now finding out that, yeah, we've got ourselves a little family dinner drama situation going on. Who could have seen that coming? But that said, they're clearly very happy together if they are getting married now. So I, for one, think it was totally worth them creating some family drama. I mean, let's be real. None of this would have happened if Sarah wasn't just a cheating whore. Unsurprisingly, you're getting comments like, oh gosh, if only 149 people had warned you this would happen 4 years ago. But ultimately saying, I'd let your fiance handle this. Her sister, her family, her objection. Stay the hell out of it and support whatever your fiance chooses. Like, yeah, everyone is enjoying this slight schadenfreude. I mean, this is the mess you signed up for. Some people treat relationships as, oh, well, we just had this magical spark we couldn't resist. There are practical considerations, and sparks are actually something you can make choices about, to lean in or contain them. Ultimately trying to make the OP understand that, like, this isn't going to be just a wedding issue. This is going to be about holidays, having kids, the aunt being around babies, etc. What if the sister has kids? How will your wife meet them? Will you never have your kids hang out with the sister's kids? Just so many issues that you collectively need to resolve this all together right now. You and the fiance and the sister. If you want to actually have a comfortable, consensual family dynamic that's never going to have this sort of drama, you need to all together nip this in the bud. Not just the sister apologizing, but you ultimately forgiving. My ex's new girlfriend is telling me I am causing problems in their relationship. So first off, I feel like this is absolutely insane and I'm unsure what to do. I'm 30 female, but when I was 16, I met my first real boyfriend, Vince, now 31 male. He was 17 at the time. We were together for a year and then we broke up. While me and Vince definitely aren't friends, we are still friendly. The extent of our interaction is yearly happy birthday and happy new year messages, along with some small talk on that occasion. We follow each other on Instagram and sometimes like each other's pics. This is it, nothing more. Anyway, when I was at a New Year's Eve party a few days ago, I got a message from Vince saying, "Hey, Happy New Year. I wish you all the best," to which I replied, "Happy 2024. Hope it treats you well." Well, fast forward to this morning. I got a message on Instagram from a girl I do not know. And this is it. This is what she said. "Hey, LP, I am not sure you know me, but I am Vince's girlfriend. We've been together for a while now, and we are very serious about each other. I see that you messaged him and like his pics. I would appreciate if you stop that. We are going to get married, and this sort of interactions are not appropriate anymore. I hope you understand inserting yourself in our relationship causes turmoil, and I cannot handle the stress and anxiety of it anymore, so I am kindly asking you to stop." I was floored. I actually just started laughing, but I also got angry. She's misrepresenting things in her message. I checked out her profile. She's 23. I was a bit surprised by the age gap, but whatever, floats their boat, I guess. She has plenty of pictures of them together, so it's legit. She's his girlfriend. Now, I'm not sure what to do here. I feel like this girl is imagining things. She's claiming me liking some of Vince's pictures and wishing him a happy birthday is causing turmoil in their relationship. She says that I am inserting myself into their relationship. Me and Vince are not close at all. I didn't even know he was in a relationship. I showed this to my fiance and best friend. My fiance advised I block them both and don't get involved in this drama, which is definitely something I'm not opposed to, but my best friend told me I should maybe just screenshot all of this to Vince, because maybe he knows about it so it won't be a surprise to him. But if he doesn't, maybe he'd want to know his girlfriend is reaching out to his ex with some strange demands. Of course, your partner is the one who's level-headed and your friend's like,
No, double down. Get involved. It's more fun.
So I don't know what to do here. I am absolutely not going to reply to her, but should I let Vince know she messaged me or just let it be? So here's the thing. A lot of the comments were saying things like, okay, if you aren't that close, then you can just respect her wishes and move on. Though it is kind of dramatic of her to do so, she was being rather polite and respectful about her own concerns. I get you want to confront Vince about this for the principle of it, but again, all of this behavior is really an issue between her and Vince. By you trying to get further involved, it kind of more just proves exactly what she was afraid of. But of course, there's some comments that offer a good middle ground about it, so obviously don't engage with her. Still take this screenshot and text it to Vince, but come across from the sincere avenue of, hey, I've just been informed of the situation. I am so sorry if I've caused it to be implied in this way. I've just been respectfully responding to your sort of messages. There hasn't been any intentions behind it. I'm not trying to get back with you. Sorry if it came across that way, etc. But of course, this is also met with a lot of comments just impressed with how insanely emotionally immature this person is. A decade-old relationship of which all you've done to keep in contact with each other is Happy New Year and Happy Birthday? How spicy is Vince's love life that with that is considered over the line in terms of intimacy? Sometimes when he gets really romantic, he plays Scrabble. Now it is about 10 days later we got an update to this. What was OP's ultimate decision? So I sat on this for a day or so, considering what I should do. There have been many comments pointing out how strange, insane, and bad it is I stayed in contact with an ex, saying I must still have a thing for him. I honestly resent the implication. I see Vince much like a childhood friend, but some people were dead set on me being stuck on him, which is not necessarily bad. It just made me see lots of people see it this way. So his girlfriend might as well. So I decided to remove myself from the situation completely. I don't want to be a bad guy and a home wrecker in anyone's story. So I blocked her on Instagram and blocked Vince as well. And I also blocked Vince on Facebook. And I thought that was it. A week passed, and I get another message from this girl. This time on Facebook. I didn't block her there because I didn't even know her full name. This message was more hostile, now accusing me of not removing Vince from my LinkedIn connections as well. And she felt that's how I'm still trying to keep track of him. I almost never use LinkedIn, and I completely forgot I even had him on there. I have never spoken to anyone on LinkedIn other than a recruiter. Look, I don't know. This made my anxiety go through the roof. I blocked her on Facebook and removed Vince from my LinkedIn connections, and this is it for now. I just want this to be over with, and I want her to leave me alone. I hope she doesn't also check his MySpace account. God. The top comment saying, at this point, I tell Vince. And I think that's very much understandable now. This is no longer just trying to appease the crazy person to keep the peace. This person is still going out of their way to harass you after you doing what they said. You've tried fawning, now it's time to try fighting. As others say, that girl is going to message the wrong person and cost Vince his job or career, possibly. I mean, if just 2 innocuous messages, as another person points out here, just 2 of those a year are interference in her relationship, she's got big problems and is likely messaging every woman he's got listed. To add some creepier warnings that the OP added in a comment, in her last message when she mentioned LinkedIn, she also implied she now knows where I work and where I can be reached. So update to my thoughts, don't just tell Vince, also tell the police. Anyway, friends, we might end today's video there. Thank you as always for watching. Remember to drink some water. I will asphyxiate you in a very gentle, calming manner. You'll think it's a massage, but I'm attempting a hit. Anyway, you be good. Love your face. Bye.